we want to see how we can use ChatGPT to discuss our tables. And I'm also going to show us how to use ChatGPT 3.5 to achieve what ordinarily we would not be able to achieve with ChatGPT 3.5. One of the limitations of ChatGPT 3.5 is that the data fed into it. The last update is September 2021. I mean 2021, apparently. But I can tell you that with this plugin we are going to use this evening, we can activate it and make ChatGPT 3.5 to fetch current data up to 2023 for us. Even current data that is happening today, it can fetch it for us once it's available online. So those are the two things we want to achieve today. So I'm trying to show you a table which I want to begin to discuss first. Normally, when you have a table like this, you want to do a report of a paper, or you want to do a report of a research rather. For me, my approach, what I normally do is, following my objectives, I will create all the tables I want to discuss. After creating one table, I will not start the discussion. I will not start all of that. I will create all the tables I need for the entire report first. And one by one, I begin to discuss. So, but ChatGPT can assist you to fast track the reporting. So which at the end of the day, you can go back and then redress whatever output you get from ChatGPT. So just like we used to know, all you have to do is just copy the table. You click on the table. Let's say this is the table I want to discuss. So I'm going to take this to ChatGPT. I have to stop sharing this and then share the ChatGPT environment to demonstrate to us what we want to do. Let me just ask ChatGPT to say whether it's alive, and I think it's alive. So, so what we're now going to do is to say that, and it's always important for you to tell ChatGPT the context of the discussion that you want. But since there are two things. There is what we call reporting, and there is discussion. What do you normally call it? Result and discussion. You know that there are some journals or universities that will require that you should write reports separately of a particular table, and then before you discuss. And there are some that would say you can match the two together, results and discussion. So, but in this case, let us do it separately. I already have the table. I want the ChatGPT to report first, and later we'll then discuss. So, reports the following table for me. Just put your column like we normally do, and you paste the table which you have already copied into the memory. So I'm posting that, and it's reporting immediately. So it's reporting immediately. So this is the table. It has already drafted the table. It said this report presents a comprehensive overview of the questionnaire retrieval performance of 3 hospitals: Ekiti State, University College Hospital, Lut, and all of that. So the data includes the number of questionnaire administered, the number of questionnaire retrieved, and the corresponding rate of retrieval for each hospital. So that's what we have there. And that's this is the findings. You know, I would not ask ChatGPT to rather write it in prose. I don't want write in prose. I don't want to be, you know, looking at so let's see what we're going to have. Can you see that? It has converted that now to prose, which is easier for me to just copy, paste, and re-edit. You know, like I said, once you copy, try to also do it your own taste so that it won't be verbatim copying. Although this is your work, no doubt, it is your work. That data is unique. That data you can't get it anywhere else. This is what you have computed yourself. But to guard against any plagiarism tool, detecting your write-up as being generated by AI, try to do a few things like 30% of the content, try to tweak it, and that will be fine. So look at this. In this report, we present a detailed analysis of the questionnaire retrieval process across 3 prominent hospitals, Ekiti State, and all of that. Our objective is to do this. Now, look at that. So this is the entire, in fact, it's already telling us, giving us what's going beyond what we expect it to do. It's already telling us the implication of that report. Now, these are the implications that it could deduce from the findings. But before that, I wanted to discuss. I would now ask you to discuss the findings. You would then, okay, I was supposed to give it the context. So let's see. Without giving it the context, let's see what we're going to have. The findings from the analysis of the questionnaire retrieval rates across the state university and all of that. This question delves deeper into the implication of these findings and their potential significance for each hospital. Okay. Reflect a robust engagement. Can you see? The state high retrieval rate of 91.4 reflects a robust engagement with participants. This suggests that the hospital has successfully established clear communication channels and possible implemented effective follow-ups. Can you see that? And then look at the discussion here as well again. although UCH exhibited a slightly lower retrieval rate of this, it is important to recognize that this rate still represents. Now, one thing that is very important as well, again, you can tell ChatGPT the way you write, and that it will follow that pattern in the write-up. You know, you can copy a passage from your work and say, ChatGPT, this is the way I write. So once ChatGPT sees a sample of the way you write, it can follow that pattern. So maybe that's the first thing you should do before you begin to say, okay, as it is, that's fine. You can now paste something that's, okay, ChatGPT, use this tone in the write-up. It can obey that, understand that, and follow what it has to do. So from there as well, normally, we used to say that, like I said, you can always copy that and paste in the section under that table and under each of those things that you need to do. You can also ask it to give you the implication. What is the implication? I think it has done that even before asking it. I'm looking at three aspects: the findings, the discussion of them, the findings itself, the analysis of the findings, as well as the discussion, and then the policy implication. You can extract the policy implication from the findings. You can say, what are the policy implications of the findings? You can extract it for you. Normally, most of the time, what we do is we rack our brain, no doubt, based on our findings to bring out the policy implication. Then, based on our experience, it is also important for you as well to know how to advise, the readers or the audience based on your findings. So, whatever suggestion ChatGPT gives you, you can then look at, because you are a professional in that domain. You can then look at it and say, wait, oh, this makes sense. This is fine. Oh, we can go this way. Indeed, the thinking is fantastic. So that way, there are no two other people that will be bringing the same recommendation from your results, because you don't have the same results with anybody anywhere in the world, because your work is unique to you. You are the one giving it that input. So it will base the findings, it will base the output on the input you have supplied. So if you look at this policy recommendation now, stemming from where we're coming from, you say the findings regarding the questionnaire retrieval rates. This is just questionnaire retrieval rates, apparently. We're supposed to do other ones, but I don't want to waste our time. I was just trying to once I give a sample here, you already know what to do. So it said the findings regarding the questionnaire retrieval rate across Ekiti states, whatever, and all of that. Now, this implication can guide policymakers and hospital administrators, can you imagine, in shaping strategies and initiatives that capitalize on the observed trends. This is interesting, because if you look at the key stakeholders there, it's talking about the policymakers, which is one of the key stakeholders, and hospital administrators. Those are the two key stakeholders, which is in line. So look at the first suggestion here: strengthening patient-centered care. I'm going to read the first one alone. Just 2 lines. The high retrieval rates observed indicate a positive patient-provider relationship and effective communication channels. Policymakers can use these findings to emphasize the importance of patient-centered care in hospital policies. Can you imagine that this really makes sense? And look at the second one: enhancing data-driven decision-making. Hospitals with high questionnaire retrieval rates are likely to have more comprehensive and representative data sets. So policymakers now can emphasize integration of patients' feedback. Can you see this? Look at the presentation. So this is what ChatGPT can do for you. So this is what it can do and achieve for you. So there are some other things. Now, by the time we switch to the new ChatGPT, which I call the new ChatGPT, that can allow us to access current data in the current real-time data, you can then see now that some of the questions we were asking the last class that we had can be answered by this, because ChatGPT can give you the reference of where some of this information are retrieved online. So I'm going to show you today. So it can also give you relevant some other data, information that may be in line with this discussion. So we're going to see that. So I hope you understand what I've just done here. So I'm going to switch, because the criteria for using that plugin is to use Chrome. So I'm going to move away to Chrome. My Chrome, it's somehow, I mean, I don't know. I didn't know that I did not boot. I have to do a boot on my computer. So I did not boot from the Chrome that I've updated. So if you're like me, that you don't normally use your Chrome regularly, once you launch your Chrome, the first thing, Chrome is a browser, I hope you know. The first thing you do is to update the Chrome, and then you can fire it. So I'm going to go there now, but I'm going to give us 2 minutes to ask 1 or 2 questions there before you go to Chrome to do the second thing you want to achieve for today. Yes, any question with this quick brief? What we have just done, let me give you a summary, is to bring in a table from our text, from anywhere, from our work that we want to discuss, that we want to we want to report the findings, and then we want to discuss the same and bring out some policy implications. And that's what we have achieved. So any questions so far from here? Okay. In the absence of none, okay, let me just go to the second one.
I said, please, just a kind of, maybe I want to bring you back a little bit.
Okay.
If you have been able to generate a literature review through the AI,
okay,
and you want to provide citation, how do you go about that?
Okay, the citation thing, we are going to see it. We are going to see it with this new one. I want to demonstrate.
Okay.
Yes, and I think it can also assist us to see this. I can remember the other time, Professor Ogunfowoko also asked a question about how to get the sources for some of this information. So this new one I want to demonstrate can show us the sources of the document used. So we're going to see that. Yes, ma. You can go on.
Yes, Doc. For those of us that don't have the new one, how do we go about?
That is what I want.
He has said.
That is what I want to show everyone now. That is the next thing I want to demonstrate now. You don't have to. We are still using ChatGPT 3.5.
Okay.
But there is a plugin that can enable you to do all of these things now. That's what I want to show you.
Okay.
Rather than you upgrading to 4.0.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. So the first thing is you have to do it from Chrome. It is Chrome browser that can enable that. So I'm going to share my screen and go to Chrome. Where is Chrome? Okay, this is my Chrome. So once you are in Chrome, there is a package that is not a package, it's a plugin. It is called Web Chat GPT. Web Chat GPT. When you click on that, just search for it online. It's a Chrome package, apparently. So you will find the first result you see in the search engine. It's Web Chat GPT. You just click on that. And it's very simple. Just one single click, it will bring something for you. Once you click on that, it will bring you here. Here you will see install, if you have not installed it before. But because me, I've installed it before, it's asking me, do I want to remove it from Chrome? I don't want to remove. So just click that. Once you click that, it will install it. It's as simple. The step is as simple as that. So once that is done, you then fire your ChatGPT. You just go to your normal thing, chat.openai. And then how do you confirm whether it has done it or not? You will see that the screen is different from what we used to know. Look at this place. You will see one-click prompts. You will see web assets and see a few other things here. Can you see all of that? That means you have successfully installed the web extension. You have successfully installed it. How do we check that? Let us use a familiar query. At least you already know that. What we know is 2021. That was the last update for it. But let's check whether it can. The president of Nigeria, who is the current president? President of Nigeria. But this one, all of the procedures, it will bring everything to the screen. So you don't bother yourself, but you have to do a lot of scrolling. That's the only difference here. So it will just scroll to your answer. All of the procedures is taking where it's getting all of these things from. It will bring everything for you on the page, and it will summarize below. So it's still doing it. Can you see? You allow it to finish the procedure. It's telling us that it's about 56% done. It's thinking, P3 processing. Okay, can you see? All of the sources are those ones listed there. You just go to the end. You scroll to the end. Don't bother yourself with all of that. Don't read them. For now, don't read them. Don't bother yourself. Those are the sources of the information it's bringing to us. So look at this. You now come to where you will see the ChatGPT logo. That is the response. It said the current president of Nigeria as of the given date, August 11, which is today. Can you imagine? Which is today is Bola Tinubu. He won the 2023 Nigerian presidential election, which was held on February 25, and not all of the stories. So if you look at that, if you look at this very closely, Ma and Sal, if you look at this, see the reference. Can you see the reference for all of this one? It's like this is like IEEE referencing style. This is one. This is the first reference source, rather. This is the second source. This is the third source for this particular one. And then for the addition here, which is succeeded Mohammed Buhari, who served the maximum 2 terms allowed by Nigeria's constitution. So the source there is found in the second one here. Can you see that this is doing that? Look at everything is writing here. Look at the citation. This is the third one here. This is the third one here. This third one here. And where can we find this one? So you just scroll up. You scroll up and look at the sources. We have the sources somewhere. Okay, these are the things was we said. I will give you a question or an instruction. This is the internal workings of the system by itself. So okay, and I think this is the first source here. Number one, this is the first source here. It's gotten from this URL. And then the dates and every other thing, all the other metadata are there. The dates, the title of that source, and the contents, and the year, it's there. I think that must be, is even giving us the contents of that URL, because this is like a table now. This is like a table that is not really showing us like the, but we don't have to bother ourselves about the nitty-gritty of that. But it has given us the source. This is the first source. There's another source on top. We will see that. Okay, this is another one. This is the second one here. That's the source. If you ordinarily copy this one and paste it, we are going to find some of those things there, you know. And so that this is the third one here. You copy this one and paste, we are going to find the source there. So now let us now go to, let us see. So this is what we have here now. Now let us now say, imagine that. Well, another disadvantage of this guy is he does not obey follow-up questions correctly. Some of the time it will hallucinate. That's the only thing. But it's good when you just use it to get the information you need at every time, copy that information, paste it somewhere, and then bring it, switch this off. Now switch this off to go back to the normal guy that will understand, that will not hallucinate when you are, that can do follow-up question very well. You understand? If you have already gotten it. So you can toggle this button to turn the web access off and to turn it on. Do you get the difference now? The web access can give you everything that you need online, but some of the time the follow-up questions may not be correct. So it may not be 100% reliable. But by the time you are done with searching all the information you need and you have copied it somewhere and you want to begin to probe it to say some other things further, you switch this off and then come back to the normal one. That is, if only you don't need, you don't want it to relate it to current data. But then let's still move. So that is that. Now we can also ask this one now to generate. Let's say I want to demonstrate how to retrieve data, current data from this guy. Let's say compute or generate. Which one? Compute. Oh, I can ask question. Okay, compute Brent crude price for the last 10 years. And put it in a table. The last 10 years includes year 23. Yeah, I mean 2023, 21, 20, and all of that. So let's see what we're going to have. That's the rough work above. He's not giving me the final one. Can you see? It's generating, it's not just giving me the price, because everything has to do with Brent crude, where there's opening price, there is the year open, the year high, the year low, the year close, and the change, all of that. It brought everything straight away from year 2023, 22 in descending order. Can you imagine? So ordinarily, if you switch this off and ask it the same question, it's going to compute this table, but it will not include 22, 23. No. So it won't include that. So if you want us to experiment, let's use the same question. Okay, let's switch this off. And at the same time, okay, before we switch that off, let us ask ChatGPT to report this. Let us see. I think it should be able to report this. Report the table. You will enjoy the reporting of this version. Report and discuss the table. Okay, let's see. Don't worry, I don't know why this is coming up. Yeah. Okay, no. All of these ones are just the workings, and this is the report. This is the report. It's saying the table provided contains historical data on Brent. So the follow-up question here is still obeying it, it's still correct. So, but you have to be careful to be sure that it's not bringing something different from what you have sent. But I think in this occasion, it's doing it well. So if you look at this, the table provided contains historical data on Brent crude oil price for the last 10 years, which is true. So look at the reporting. Here's the discussion on the table and its implications. Can you see? It's also giving us the implication. It has given us a kind of thematic analysis of the report. Look at this trend analysis. It's showing us the trend analysis because ordinarily this is like a trend data. It's telling us trend analysis, okay, and then it's also is reporting the price fluctuation. These are the key things that ordinarily you yourself may not immediately think about. These are the things you're expected to spend days, months, weeks reading literature to know that these are the things you should discuss. It's also telling us the recovery and volatility. Now, let's see an interesting part of it. Look at this place. It's also talking about the COVID-19 period because it's aware that COVID-19 happened between 2021 and 2022, and it's reporting that this may have been things that were affecting the price fluctuation of the crude. Look at this. Brent crude oil prices continue to show fluctuations in recent years. Notably, 2022 saw a dramatic decline in prices. Can you imagine this? Largely due to the COVID-19 pandemic impact on global demand and the subsequent oil prices. You agree with me that this discussion is intelligence and it's lovely. It's what your readers would love to listen to. Look at this again. 2023 projection. The data of 2023 up to the provided date shows an average closing price of this. Wow, 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 wow. Look at this. So this is, and it's also giving us the references of some of those things it has quoted. Another thing this thing can also do for you as a plus, even if you are not using it for academic purpose. So imagine you want to provide information for some people, or you want to look for information. You are in the United States, you are in Nigeria, you are in Lekki, you are in London, and you need information about Burger King. You need information about Burger King, the addresses or the location. You know, ChatGPT can do that for you. You can tell ChatGPT, provide or make a list of the location of maybe Kentucky Fried Chicken. I like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken in New York. Apart from the fact that this information is useful to you as a person, you can also gather this to provide support services. I'm going to be expatiating more on that by the time we are doing a series of ways by which you can use ChatGPT to make money. So it's browsing, it's looking for it. 6% done. So let's wait for it. Yeah. Can you see? Can you see? KFC? KFC is coming. Okay, okay. Is it close to the somewhere close to the 2 pen? Okay, let me just ask it to put it in the table. I like to put it in the table. Put this in a table and including the full address. Give us full address. But it's even there. 2755 Broadway is closed. Okay. Yeah, this is it here. Here's the table including full address of the White House. Look at this. See hallucination. See hallucination. This is what I was saying, that some of the time, if you don't specify it correctly or very well, very closely, to relate with the previous where it's coming from, you may ask hallucinate. So what I'm saying is I'm going to write, I say present, okay, compute the location of let's say Burger King then. Burger King in New York. Compute and present this in a table. Compute the locations, not just locations, because we have a good number of them. For Burger King in New York. I mean, the New York, it has to be correct. And present this in a table. Okay, let's see what we're going to have. Okay. There you go, there you go, there you go, including phone number. Hey, including operation hours. This is interesting. So, can you see this? Location Burger King 3255. The address, Canal Street 273. And telephone number. You can pick your phone and make a call. You don't need to be looking for any directory anywhere which is not available. So the directory you need is ChatGPT, and it can get it for you. So if you look at this very quickly, a very quick business is this. You can compute this. You can compute all of this for many cities in the United States, or for all the states in the United States, state by state, and make it ready for sale. I don't think we have that anywhere for now. Do you get what I'm trying to talk about? You can do the same for countries in Europe. So when people are saying that we don't have things to do, ChatGPT has brought so many opportunities, which anybody who is not lazy can sit down. You don't need a PhD to do this. And nobody will say this is plagiarism because this is your own collection. It is a collection that does not exist anywhere. So all of these, you can also make it available. I'm going to tell us some of the sources where you can sell some of these things, these digital services. I mean, all of these things. By the time you put all of these things together, you arrange it and you make it ready, you can host it in a place where money will be dropping into your account almost every second, almost every day, depending on whoever is interested in what you have online there. And you can do as many as possible. So this is just an idea of so many things you can do with ChatGPT. So let me quickly stop this here so that you can ask our questions and then we'll go for the day. Let me stop here. If you have 1 or 2 questions, you can ask. And then, okay, before that, I'll just remember, but the lady that was asking that question is not on the platform today. This may be relevant to somebody else. Like I said, you can use ChatGPT to generate if you are a data scientist, to generate your code, whether Python code, R code, Java code, JavaScript, React, JS, and every other one, HTML, CSS that you can think of that you want to use to carry out maybe to develop an application or to carry out anything you want to do. She was asking if there's a need for her to process big data. Do you have to copy everything and post in ChatGPT? ChatGPT cannot take everything at a go because for us in data science, we can have up to like 1 million data sets some of the time, 10 million and much more than that. So that's the space in ChatGPT cannot contain that. But what I found out is it's very simple. Wherever the location of that data set is, if it is a data set that is not online and that you have it locally, the first step you have to do is look for a place where you can host that data set online. Once you can host it online in another space outside ChatGPT, I'm going to show us the way to call it into ChatGPT to do whatever analysis you want to carry out. Then on the other hand as well, if the large data set you want to analyze is also already resident on a web somewhere else, all you need to do is to just get the URL. The URL is the website, the web address, something like this, http www. I don't know, let's say Africa Science. This just arbitrary.org into let's say the file is a PDF file or something, or CSV. Brain tumor .csv. Let's say this is the file that you want to reference. All you just need to do is this is a large data set resident in this particular website. So what you just tell ChatGPT is to what do I want to say? To write a code for you for the process you want to do. Let's just say I want to write a Python code for me to so what do I want to do? To process, not process, to open, not to open. Oh, let's say I want to carry out a regression analysis. Okay. Write a Python code for me to carry out a regression analysis, a binary regression, to carry a binary regression analysis on the data sets available on the following. Available on the following. Yes, on is the website on the following URL. URL is a universal resource locator. Okay, so I'll just drop it down here and press enter. So we're going to get our code now. Ordinarily, yes, that's fine. Okay. Ordinarily, I do not need this web ChatGPT to get that code written because I don't want to access that. What do I call it? I don't want to access that URL yet. I don't want to access it now. So let me see where's my question. Okay. Continue on. What is this thing? Okay, no such fine. Okay. So I'm going to turn this off and then just ask it to do it. Okay, right? Python code for me to carry out binary logistic regression on a data set available on this. Okay, so I already know the way it's going to write it, but let's see what it's going to bring. So That is it there. So all the while of you doing it all alone, thinking about how to write the code is gone. What you just do is some of the time, about only 1% or 2% of the time, the code may not be finally correct. That's why you still need the nitty-gritty of understanding any particular code you want to use. So, but all you need to do, just copy this one and go to where you normally run your Python, maybe your Jupyter, or you go to Colab. You know, that one is available online where you don't need to install any package. Where you can just go online to your Colab. I don't know if this one will open. Colab. That's my environment, colab.google.com. Okay, let's see. But then you must have a Gmail. So it will be saving it in your. Oh, can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes. Hello, we can see. We can see.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me what you can see from the screen so that we know which one is sharing?
A video. You want to, as if you want to play a video.
Ah, no. Oh, fantastic. I'm glad. Okay, that's fine. So okay, I'll just go to my code session, and so here in Colab, you don't need to install Python on your system. You can run it from online. So all you just need to do is you just copy that your code from here. And ordinarily, let me show us the code. Now the first thing is well, this is not a Python class though, but it's okay. So this is pip install. It's like pip install pandas. This panda is like a package that you want to install. You know, pandas numpy is installing like 3 of them together. This is a panda for data analysis, data wrangling, and this is numpy to process. It's also a package also to process data, and this is also an algorithm that would give us the binary logistic that we want to talk about. So it's installing all these 3 together. So if it is not already installed, this one has to be installed because it's after the installation that you can begin to call them one by one. So this will install all of these 3, and this import, you have to import. Import is more or less like you are loading them into the memory. Load my panda, import panda into the memory as PD, so that's for short. Import my numpy, which is also necessary for this processing, as NP. And it's now saying that from this model, import all of these what do you call it? All of these functions that will be used for the analysis. Now, this is where it's loading the data set. Load data set from this URL. Can you see? It will collect this one from online, from the internet straight away. You don't have to bring it into your system. It will fetch it from this URL and put it in this container. So after putting it in this container, it will now present it as a we call something we normally call it data frame. So it's not going to present. It's more or less like a table. So whatever is here will be sent inside our data here because it's bringing it here. This guy will now convert it to the URL. So, and then it's as simple as that. It's very simple. Python is simple. I'm going to raise a class as well for beginners. I'm going to do Python for beginners. So, so that time I will know that I'm teaching Python, but I'm just trying to rush for you to say that even when you want to learn programming language, it's not hard. You only need somebody to tell you line by line what it means, and you're good to go. So at the end of the day, this will now display the information in that large data set from here. This guy will display it for us. Displaying is printing. He's not printing on a paper. You know, printing is you print something out. Is that you print on the screen or you print on a paper. But in programming, with this one, it's printing on your screen. It will now show all of this. It will show the contents of that data which is here. It will show it on your screen, and you can see some of the components that you have in that database that you yourself, data set rather, that you yourself may not have seen. It will bring it to your screen here. This program will bring it to your screen. And all of this one will handle the logistic regression, which you don't have to write by yourself. ChatGPT has done that for you in a second, and you just take it here and run. So let me copy. So it did not include this in case if it is already installed, but I can also ask it to merge everything together. But let me see. Let me assume that, okay, if I bring this here, let me copy this and go to my Colab and run. I'll just plug this here and ask it to run. Oh, I have to sign in. Oh, shit. That's why I said you must have a Google account. But let me see. I don't know if, because for me, I have 3, okay. I have 3 Gmail accounts. And I can't remember the password for all of them. So this Chrome will be asking me for the password, which I do not know. Because I have stored it on my system. I've stored it, and although it's not hard for me to remember, but it'll be difficult for me to be showing it on the screen. So that is that. So that's just a summary about that particular one. Let me stop here, and then we can ask our questions so that we'll close for the day. Let me give you a proof summary. What I have done here, I've demonstrated to us how to install the web ChatGPT to enable ChatGPT 3.5 to do more than it is ordinarily designed to do in terms of the data set available to it. It is now, we have the web ChatGPT plugin. We have used that as an extensible plugin to allow us to get the current happenings on the internet, on the web. So it can allow us to fetch current data. So, and how to do that is you just search for web ChatGPT and then install on Google Chrome. Once you install on Google Chrome, we then open your ChatGPT environment and begin to use. And like I said, the way to know whether you have done successfully is to see, or here you see that your screen is a different ballgame entirely. It has changed. So, and this is a toggle button which you will use when you want to go online. You turn it green. That means it's on. But when you don't want to go online, as in what I mean by online, when you don't want to go beyond the 2021 data set, you can use the off. You can turn it off so that we will do other things to ordinarily be able to do. And that is it. And now we have also used this to say that we can do a number of things with ChatGPT rather than us even doing our discussion of tables, generating new data, and all of that. We can do so many things with it. And I've shown us examples of what we can do, and now we can go about this. And I've also discussed that we can also use it to compute programming languages for our tasks. So thank you. Questions?
Okay, question.
Go on, Ma.
Thank you, Dr. Awileye, for this explosive teaching.
Thank
I
you.
actually came late into this webinar.
Yes, I saw
My
that.
question is the upgrade to plus or upgrade of ChatGPT.
Yes.
Is it the same thing as web ChatGPT? Are they doing the same thing? Is it the same function that both has?
Okay.
That's number one. If at all I want to upgrade,
yes,
what does it require for me to upgrade?
Okay.
And then you talked about if we have our data somewhere that we want ChatGPT to analyze for us, that we have to put it online.
Yes.
Does ChatGPT have access to repository where we can have data sets being deposited?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. So I think the first one is about the functionality of ChatGPT 3.5. Like I said, ChatGPT 3.5, it's still the normal ChatGPT 3.5. But what we are trying to do is we want to look for a way by which we can extend the capability of 3.5. That is why Chrome has provided an opportunity for us whereby we can bring in an extension. Look at that. It has provided, what do we call it? It has provided an extension for us, which is the creation of what do we call it? The web ChatGPT. It's like a software that is enabled on Chrome to allow ChatGPT to do some more. So it is still, so it's like I said. So that is that. It's still the same ChatGPT, but the extension is just allowing us to be able to do some more, to get more information. And then the other one is ChatGPT, does it have access to repositories? Yes. Yes and no. It doesn't really. It doesn't have that capability. That's why I said that for you to access anything that is stored in a repository, especially for people that want to analyze large data sets, that from inside ChatGPT, you cannot analyze large data sets that you fetch from outside, like from a URL. But another way to it is to use a programming language to do that for you. But writing that programming language, it shouldn't be, ChatGPT can assist you to do that by writing that code for you. Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so ChatGPT can write a code for you to achieve that. So that's why I demonstrated that. I don't know, what's your second question?
Your internet is fluctuating. I'm not hearing you.
Oh, okay. Okay, it should be better now. So like I said, it's not that you can access the external repositories from ChatGPT. No, but ChatGPT can write a code for you to other application packages that can access those repositories.
The upgrade to plus, what is the essence?
Oh, 2 seconds, ma. But I think maybe we can try it. It cannot. It cannot. I was trying to experiment to say that maybe we should go and retrieve a data. Let me see. Let's give it a try. I don't have a data set readily. But if anybody can, you can access a URL immediately where there is a data set. Let's try to probe it. Maybe they can display the content of that data set for us. Maybe. I'm not sure. Yes, the essence of the plus can do some. ChatGPT it can do so many things. Oh, it can do so many things. All of these things we are talking about, it can do much more. There are some additional things. Chat 4.0 can plot graphs. It can plot charts. So 4.0 will allow you to install additional plugins to enable it to give us charts, to give us what do we call it? All of these different charts. What do you call them? Pie charts, bar charts, histogram, all of that.
Graph.
Exactly, it can do it. So that's the beauty of 4.0. Even me, I have not explored it, but then I'm still going to do that. So, but if you want, additional features, why not? You can give it a try. And then they also have monthly payment. You can be doing it on a monthly basis. But if you want to save some money, you can just pay for 1 year. And I think the payment for 1 year I don't think it's I don't think it's more than $100. I think we have checked it the other day. This is it here. Let me see. It's $20 per month. So it's going to be around maybe $200 for 1 year, which for me I think is still fair enough. If you must do that. So does that satisfy your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
After the last training, I went online to ask ChatGPT to give me some information.
Okay.
Information on the sexual violence, bullying, but it's telling me that
we lost that. Hello. We lost that.
Yes, I think his network is off.
Okay. Any
Our
other
network
question?
has gone off. I think I asked about issue of citation the other time, but you said that when you get to this aspect, it will be.
I have shown us now. I have shown us.
Okay, maybe my network has issue by then.
But literature review, you cannot do more than what we have done. Like asking it to report, and as it's reporting, it's bringing some other areas, relevant information, and that's literature review for me. So, okay, do we have one more person, one more question, and then while we wait for her to come back, if there's still anything she was trying to. Hello, ma. Prof, are you back?
I'm back.
Yes, we lost you at some point, so maybe you want to come back again.
Okay, what I was trying to say is that after the last training, I went online to ask ChatGPT to give me information on bullying, sexual violence, and saying that it doesn't give such an information because it is sensitive,
yeah,
and it is private.
That's true.
So which means that there's a limitation on information that ChatGPT can provide to people.
Yes, I agree. Even the issue of Earth as well, it will tell you that they are trying to guide against is it litigation that they call it and things like that. So that's why they decided to do that. But maybe 4.0 may be able to give classified information are not information rather are not GPT will not welcome that, and it doesn't welcome issues about race and all of that as well. It won't cooperate with it, which for me I think it's good, so that but if you have a way of drafting or rephrasing what you're asking, it will definitely give you some useful information, and then you can then go to the literature and add more. Okay, any other person?
Okay. Can I quickly ask this question?
Okay.
When we are, we can ask ChatGPT to give us information. What if I copy and paste a table from my laptop and paste it in that instruction part?
Yes.
You should be able to analyze it for me. Will you accept it?
Exactly. We have done that today now. We have repeated that today. That's where we started from.
Okay, maybe because I came late. I will see it in the video.
Okay. That's where we started from. You can do that. In fact, after analyzing your, what do we call it? He's also discussing it as well. It will also give you policy implication from the findings. And that's what we do in research. That's why I said that. I mean, we have to keep that for people that will be ready to listen to that. So it's so interesting. Okay. Any other person? All right. Should we draw the curtain here? So so watch out for other things. Okay. Can we hear you?
Yes. Feed and you have gotten some qualitative data from the feed, can you still paste it in the frame and ask the statistical GPT to analyze those qualitative data?
Yes, but then it may not be straightforward, but I think you can also you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Okay.
You can do it. It can also give you thematic analysis. You can also cluster them into themes, because I'm also into qualitative analysis. You can cluster them into your text. You can cluster them into. It's just like you can bring any text from anywhere. Maybe like say 10 pages of a document. Paste it in ChatGPT and ask it to possibly report them based on these given thematic areas, and you'll be surprised the result that you will get.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, following on that, like Kobo Collect that you can use to collect data on the field. Does ChatGPT has that feature?
No.
No.
The Kobo Collect, what I know about Kobo Collect is you are going to the field to collect data, fine. And then you want to track the location of where the respondent is, so that somebody will not just go and sit under the tree in the same location and collect it. That's what Kobo Collect is doing. Or does it have some additional features other than that? Yes, it has some other things, but then that's the major thing why you're using Kobo Collect. So it's what it's doing is different from ChatGPT.
Okay.
Okay, any other one? All right, in the absence of we can't exhaust discussions. That's why I don't know. That's why every week I'm going to be raising conversations online. It could be 30 minutes and thereabout, so that we keep ourselves abreast of the happenings, not necessarily about ChatGPT GPT alone. I also do a bit of research methodology very well. I think I have time for that. I do that very well. We can be talking about how to do some analysis as well. Maybe do binary, intervention, analytical interaction, and a lot of other analytical things you can think about. So a good number of things like that we can be doing it. Talking about generating models for analysis rather than just that's what we call what people do most of the time is when you do regression, they just do this straight line regression. There are some other regression beyond the straight line, beyond linear regression, exactly. So there are ways by which we can bring our models together. We can compute our models based on our data. A number of things that we can do. So I'm going to be raising some, live and some other whatever along that line as well. So please.
That would be too nice of you.
Thank you so much, sir. So try as much as possible. Okay, ma.
If we have any data that we need an analyst for, we can also connect with you, isn't it?
Yes, ma, but some of the time, or let me say most of the time, when it has to do with that, we'll talk about
pay.
Definitely now. We pay analysts for our work.
Yes, Prof. I mean, I saw your project, the test fund. It's a good one, which is still ongoing. So yes, I saw it online. So
thank you.
I'm open to work. Me, I work around the clock because I'm still young, so I have energy. I want to work 24 hours, 24/7, even though I also take time to rest. But then most of the time when I have 1,001 things that I want to achieve, and I don't want to just go to bed while the whole world is just flying away. So I'm available. Thank you, ma. So I also try to share my YouTube page with your friends and colleagues. Let them subscribe and then check whatever we do there as well.
Okay. Please, the last recordings for the morning session, we have not still been able to play it on my laptop. You say it's a web version. Maybe
yes, it's everybody. Yes, I'm already trying to. I have to edit the 3 videos. So I'm going to edit 3 videos, put everything together, and make it available finally. I just did that so that at least in fact, what you will see is that access is for just 1 week. It will expire in 1 week. That's to just make you to quickly have access to what we did, so that you won't be waiting for too long while I'm working on the final video. So that's why.
Thank you.
So are we getting the recorded
for this one
version of this?
Yes.
Is it going to be for 1 week too?
Videos, if you want me to leave it for 1 month, I can do it for 1 month, or I can leave it for
I think it will be better because most of us are so busy. Even the one you sent last week, I've not even downloaded them.
What I'm saying is, there are some, when you are making videos public, you have to ensure that some things are not there, So editing the videos, that's why I said that some of the time it may be necessary for me to edit before I release the final version. But I'm going to make this one readily available, so that at least we can go over it again and then see what we have, go back, see what we have done as well again. I'm going to do it almost immediately. So so that you can revise. So thank you, everyone.
Well done. Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you.
And you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.